Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies, and welcome. I do apologise for those that missed it. I had a week off. It was my mum's 81st birthday, so 9 squared over in New Zealand. She missed having an 80th birthday because she was literally being dragged back from death's door, and that's why I spent 4 months over in New Zealand last year, for those that have been with me for a while. And so yes, we had the 81st birthday celebrations this week. She's doing really well. For those that have been following, she's doing really well, very weary. Had a fabulous weekend with both sides of the families on different days. Just not quite sure what's happening next because her body isn't recovering from the in between the chemo like it should be. So yeah, I may have to nip over again at short notice. So we'll see how it goes. And if my phone goes, I'm going to have to just pop you on pause. I do apologise for that because I got home, but my baggage hasn't arrived yet. So I believe it's in transit. Okay, yes, what a year. What a year. It is a 9-year, it's endings year. That there's Spotty Dog there. He's got with the mouth cancer. My mum, moving house. My father-in-law. It's just crazy times at the moment, but not just crazy times in my household. Crazy times the world over. So entertainment only, if I didn't already say that. And I have an absolute huge list of things to look at. What I am going to start off with is like most other readers, I'm going to have a look at what went on down in Quantico, apologise if I've said that wrong, in Virginia, with the top brass gathering, which was completely unnecessary. So what happened is the order went out from Higgs for all the top brass, admirals, generals, air commodores, whatever you call them in the Air Force, together in Virginia. I mean, these guys get together a couple of times a year as it is, and they consult with the president a couple of times a year as it is. So this was completely unnecessary. To basically be forced to sit in a room and listen to 2 rambling TED Talks about how they are fat and lazy, and something to do with paper thickness and gold ink or something. Oh, please. So this very much all about the optics. So Higgs has come out and basically said all military staff should do 2 physicals a year to the highest male standard. So this is the way that they're going to potentially attempt to get women out of the armed forces, but also to be able to cut some of the those that they consider unloyal from the top echelons. Okay, so what do I want to have a look at? So he was carrying on about fat generals and DEI to a room full of highly knowledgeable, experienced, older people, many of them female and many of them of colour, of both male and female. So it was just an absolute shite show, to put it this way. Now he's apparently the Orange Twerp has bought Dan Raisin Kane, as in R-A-Z-I-N, as in to raise to the ground, Kane out of retirement to head the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's a Lieutenant General, bit of experience, F-16 pilot, etc. But he's not a 4-star general, and he is one of the lowest ranks of generals. So it is a very unprecedented, everything's unprecedented, appointment, and apparently he has waived the criteria required for this appointment to be able to appoint Dan Kane, because he doesn't qualify. Oh, where do I go with this? Now, 45's also ranted on about how New York and Chicago should be training grounds for the military. gosh. And what else have I got? Oh, Higgs has compared himself to the World War II Secretary of State Stimson. It's just an absolute mess. So what I want to have a look at, I'm actually going to use the Trip and Wait Tarot now. This isn't for the military stuff that was there. This is about, what I want to have a look at is, what did they actually think? And then I might get a different deck to see what they are actually going. Well, what are they actually going to do? The Ace of Wands, a big plan, big stick plan, new plan to bring about a tower moment. So is this the military on the regime, or is this the regime on the military? And I will have a look at the government shutdown in a different reading. So what is the military? What do these, oh gosh, Ace of Swords and the Tower card. Strategy, cutting through the, piercing the crown. Um, again, is this, because that room full of top, highly awarded, highly decorated, earned their position the hard way, military personnel, silence. You could drop a pin. No applause, no talk, no cheering, no nothing. So what the Orange Twerp might have thought was a rally, or a potential rally, to garner the troops like he did with the grunts. Was it at Fort Worth? And in all honesty, those grunts at Fort Worth were vetoed to be Trump supporters. No, the silence with these generals and admirals and air commodores is what we call our top Air Force personnel in Australia. So I'm just using that term because I gather there would have been Marines as well. Silence, which was more telling and would have been more humiliating if he was capable of being humiliated than if they'd all gotten up and walked out. So this is really interesting. They've had the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords in regards to bringing about a tower moment. Now, this is also feeding into the fact of I posted it, oh gosh, secrets being revealed, something unexpected happening. At the moment, there is a lid being kept on it, on this, on whatever it is. I want to have a look because so I've posted it in my post section. So you go to Master Tarot or the pink circle under any video. It'll take you to the main page and you'll find the post section. Sorry, my brain is still in transit as well. It's a 14-hour trip, but there were some delays along the way, which is why the baggage didn't make it. So it turned into about 16 hours of, drive, fly, drive, you name it. So I've posted in the post section something, a link to the Florida election fraud, the cases with the Florida election fraud. So proving that let's actually get it up. Sorry, I do apologise. I shall put my brain in when I get there. When it arrives home, I shall put my brain in. So basically, it's this will hold Substack. So basically what we're talking about is there's two cases going in front of the judicial system in Florida, which is showing there was widespread fraud and gross negligence that undermines the integrity of the 2024 election and places the results in doubt. Now, there's the first judge that was to hear it apparently had their personal vote flipped, corrupted, however you like to call it, which means they should have recused themselves, but they refused to. So it went to, the ruling then went to, I believe, a panel of judges. So the presiding judge's own mail-in ballot request was corrupted, so should have recused themselves, but they didn't. So therefore a motion was put in for disqualification, but the motion to disqualify was denied because the appeals court judges were also had their votes compromised. So this might be a trigger for the military. This might be what takes it off, takes it out. Okay, because we've got the strength here, the strength card, and the Knight of Pentacles, a solid, dependable knight looking at their options. Do not be surprised if these military personnel are looking at their options very closely about what they can do. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look. And I will have a look at the shutdown because I'm just going to tell you right now that this regime wanted a shutdown because it allows them to potentially fire federal employees instead of putting them on furlough. But it also allows them to cut spending, federal spending, that is non-military by around 50%, $480 billion, $410 billion, sorry, without that having to go through Congress. I'll have a look at that in a moment. But what did the military, sorry, it's taken me 12 minutes to even get started. As I said, my brain will catch up eventually. What did the military personnel, what did they think and what are they going to do? Okay. What did they think? And what are they going to do? Okay, what do they think? What did they think? First up, what did they think of this summonsing, which was just a load of BS summonsing for Hegseth to berate and make demands? There was nothing that couldn't have gone out in a memo. And then they had to listen to the orange twerp droll on about blimmin' paper and ink and just garbage. But anyhow, let's have a look. What did the military personnel think? Come on down, let's have a look. Okay, the Lovers card. Now, when I was pulling those cards out before, this was the next one that was in line. I glanced at it and didn't pull it, but obviously Spirit guides are wanting this card to come out. So we've got the Lovers card here. This is about the unbalanced relationships, the awkward contracts and positions, and you've got here the higher authority. Now, this doesn't mean this is the felon. The higher authority is the Constitution that is overarching this situation. Now, I know it's the Archangel, but I'm also, have a look at what's written on his t-shirt there. I hope the camera focuses on that. Peace. So the reason why after World War II, the Department of War was changed, the title was changed to Department of Defense, was because the department was changing from a warmongering department to a protection and defense department. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so peace on the shirt. So we've got this unbalanced relationship with the Lovers card. Let's see where this goes. Challenged by, full illumination, fully exposed, naivety exposed, the Emperor has no clothes being exposed. Two major arcana out here. So this unbalanced relationship with the overlying constitution and intention of the Department of Defense is being challenged by this childish naivety that is being exposed. So what did they think of it? Absolutely. Now, YouTube apparently also, talking about childishness, just made a settlement with the Orange Twerp for $33 billion, 33.4 or something, I think it was, or thereabouts. It is being not going to the felon himself, but it was a settlement in regards to certain individuals being banned from YouTube following the January the 6th incident. Now, it just frustrates me no end. The settlements basically is like rewarding a whinging child for their whinging. So if they whinge at you and you go, no, 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 oh, okay, here you go, have the lollipop or the toy or whatever it is, that's just teaching that child next time, right, okay, there is a limit that I can reach if I just continue on. And it just emboldens them. It's so frustrating. Anyhow, the energy behind the energy that they're stewing in at the moment is the Knight of Cups. A false knight, a false offer being made, something falsely being put forward emotionally. Okay. So in the past, the nightmare situation, absolutely. Why the F were they dragged away from their respective bases, their respective commands to listen to this twad collop is unbelievable. So they're in this nightmarish intellectual situation. Wasn't just the generals in the Pentagon or the leaders in the Pentagon, it was from bases throughout the world and off ships and oh gosh, whatever, you know what I mean. Anyhow, crowning this reading, the military itself. So the energy over this can be movement forward, it can be chaotic movement forward, but it is the military stepping up. Okay. And I'm looking at the bottom and we've got the false victory at the bottom as well there, the underlying energy. So what did they think of it? Six of Swords, moving out of troubled waters, moving on, packing up the truth and moving forward. What did they think of it? Externally, the insanity, well, not so much the insanity, just the dementia-ridden gift giving, the naivety. Again, we've got this naivety. Someone who 5 times, I think, avoided being drafted for Vietnam, never served. No one in his family has ever served. His grandfather, I believe, fled Germany to avoid having to serve. But just the absolute naivety of what was being put out there and on full display. However, you've got this figure here in the background walking away from this naivety. Okay, let's see where we go. Internally, keeping a lid on their discussions, keeping a lid. So I'd say there's some discussions going on behind the scenes here. Legally testing the waters, I'm thinking, and keeping a lid on what they are actually considering doing, but keeping a close eye on it. The hopes and fears, the world card. Not only does this will affect the entire world, but this is about bringing a cycle to an end. Okay, the outcome, looking at things differently and being stopped, or stopping this lies and theft, because it was just full of lies. And then we've got the Justice card, legal action being taken, actions having consequences. Okay, there's more happening here. We've got the false victory, the Temperance card, which is the pouring from cup to cup to rebalance, and on the back foot defending, putting somebody wild-eyed on the back foot, defending. This could also be the vote manipulation here. And then we've got the King of Cups. Now I know, still trying to work out who it is, but I wonder whether this was the Biden order. And we've got the military personnel who know their worth, betrayal, heartbreak, and bringing something to a significant end legally. Well, not necessarily legally, just stabbed in the back. So feeling betrayed, feeling stabbed in the back, but also they may be doing this themselves to the regime. You've got the magician, the manipulation, or can be the manifestation. You've got the Empress, and you've got an opportunity. We've got the smoke and mirrors and the devil and the loss and the new beginning. Ooh, okay. Let's get the next question out there. So what did they think they were not impressed. And I think what's happening is they're talking behind the scenes. No, they're telling me to keep using their cards. They're bruised and battered and back up against the wall, but the Constitution's standing, and then we've got the Fool card. New beginning in uncharted waters. What is the, and there's the Sun card again, fully exposing the naivety of the situation or something coming to light. What's the military going to do about it? Well, we've got the Ace of Swords and the Death card right there. What have we got? Ace of Swords, Four of Swords, High Priestess, and then the coming together. And then we've got the Death and Strength cards on this side. Ending of a cycle and owning the strengths. Okay. Feels like the military leaders are in chats behind the scenes. I mean, imagine being dictated to someone like Hegseth, who spilled top secret plans over an unsecure network to a journalist while they were blooming happening. That would be a sacking offence for any of those that sat in that room. Immediately, in fact, it would probably be a court-martial offence. Okay, so what are these military? Six of Pentacles, which is my vote flipping, one of my vote flipping cards, or it could be money laundering. But what did the military leaders, and I can't call the Orange Twerp and Hegseth military leaders because they're not. Oh, the bloomin' Hegseth who put in a makeup room and a gym in the Pentagon for his own personal use. Goodness me. Ex-Fox host. Okay, let's have a look. What do the actual military leaders, what are they? You want that one? What are they discussing? What are they discussing? What are the military leaders actually discussing behind the scenes along their through their own private networks? Through their own private networks. What have they discussed? Okay, that one. Right. What a fool. What a fool these people are. What do we do about these fools? What do we do about them? Challenged by, so you got the Fool, challenged by the Two of Pentacles. Looking at options, having to make a decision. What do we do? The challenge is, what do we do about this? At the foundation, there's that Six of Swords again. I mean, this could be them going back to their bases. It feels more underhanded. I think they're getting some legal advice here. In the past, the star of hope and healing, and the best of the United States, and all that was good, but it's in the past, there's the military again at the top. The Chariot again at the top. The military taking control. I think they're seeking legal advice on this to bring the situation to an end. With the Death card. Doesn't mean literal death, it means a significant ending of a situation where the king is toppled and the new beginning, a new horizon dawns. We've got externally treason, betrayal, internally judgment. Okay, collective awakening, but also a klaxon call internally. The hopes and fears, looking at the options, not liking any of them, but they're looking at their options and crowning the reading, the strength of the military, the Emperor, the Queen of Wands. Strength of the Emperor, perhaps? This Queen of Wands is about the message of prostituting. Sorry, Queen of Wands, I hate to say that for you. Not liking what is being done. Teamwork behind the scenes, discussions happening behind the scenes. Some sort of, so 2 threes, 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, circles of support. Coming up with one solitary option with that Ace of Pentacles. You've got the warmongering devil there. Eight of Pentacles. Hammering it out. 4 of Pentacles. A lot of Pentacles here, which I don't feel are money. I think they're options. Playing it close to their chest. And then when it's time, with the Wheel of Fortune charging in. They're holding back for the moment. But when the time is right, they're in. You've got here, back up against the wall in regards to the Constitution. You've got the abuse of power, betrayal, sabotage. You've got the 7 of Cups, so 5 of Swords, 7 of Cups, which is about choices that need to be made. One of them is the right choice. Then you've got the Biden order and the Queen of Swords. Internal legal strategy here. You've got an announcement coming from the White House with the 4 of Pentacles that and action being taken with the Page of Swords. Could be a whistleblower. Full exposure of a steal. So I think what's happening is that the military leaders have gotten together and said, righto, this so wrong. This is so wrong. What we need to do is, I think they're getting legal clarification of the order, and it's in the Constitution, I believe, somewhere, where if there is under certain circumstances, such as election fraud, manipulation, foreign interference, which we all know has happened, the military can take control. So I think they're looking at their options. They're getting legal advice on their options of what can trigger the military moving in. I mean, they know who to trust within their own ranks. There will be some that they don't tell anything to. Oh, that was the Justice card that was showing itself there. And then sort of narrowing it down to a single option and putting the pieces into play for it. And then when the time is right, moving rapidly. But for some reason, the timing's not quite right. So let's have a look. What are the military going to do? Sorry, this is going for so long. What are they going to do? Right, the Queen of Wands. Some sort of internal plan. I mean, it can also be an announcement of prostituting the military. I hate to say that. It can be an announcement of offering up the military. Challenged by all that is good, the Constitution, the Star of Hope and Healing. So again, there's going to be some sort of announcement, I feel, where the military are going to be offered up to either fight against Ukraine or there's something. It can also simply be enacting against its own citizens. But with the sunflower here, crossed by the Star of Hope and Healing, something that is just too much. Two doves of peace, the emotional overwhelming, something that is just going to be too much. You've got in the past the Seven of Swords, the lying and the stealing and the betrayal. Crowning this reading, this is my vote flipping card. Information coming in from overseas. Who was I listening to last night? I think it might have been Rosie about voter manipulation in Moldova. Yeah, externally. So what are they going to do? They're going to move in and bring this to an end. Internally, for the sake of this is going to be the only option they have available for the security of the United States, Homeland Security. Hopes and fears, the branches coming together, the outcome. Casting out in the cold was the only option available, and the Queen of Swords. I think they have legal justification to do so. At the moment, though, the here and now, crossroads, insanity, betrayal by the orange twerp, to gather them all together, Three of Pentacles, for this lunatic exposure. If I keep going, you've got a whistleblower, an announcement coming out of the White House, a passing perhaps, the Hermit, investigation into the secrets, a lot of information coming out really quickly. Some sort of legal restriction that's going to bring about a downfall, and then you've got the big stick and the military moving in. There's going to be steps to this. Now, the orange twerp wasn't actually supposed to go to Quantico. In fact, apparently he didn't even know about it, so it's turning into a nightmare. He didn't even know about it until he was asked about it by reporters and then demanded that he go. So I don't think what was originally planned is what... No, there was a sabotage here. What was originally planned was not what actually happened. So what was supposed to happen at Quantico? What was supposed to happen? I don't know who else spoke. I haven't really looked into it that much. As I said, I've been travelling. What was supposed to happen? Just three cards. Sorry, this one's going on a little bit long. Three cards. Right, the Strength card flew out. A show of strength. What was supposed to happen? The Death card. An ending. And a plan being brought to fruition. The World. An end of an era. Everything was lined up to happen. But things went awry with the Seven of Cups. Poor choices. Delusion. Smoke and mirrors. And once he announced that he was going, they had to say, yes, sir, Mr. President, sir, and offer him the gift of speaking there. Look with the yes, no cards. No. Said no. Use the True Crime Oracle deck. Was Quantico, what was supposed to happen at Quantico that was foiled by the orange twerp demanding that he go? What was foiled at Quantico? By the orange twerp demanding that he go. So I feel like there was, well, that one, what was foiled inside? Something secretive inside plotting. I'm getting the feeling it was actually supposed to be announcement of the overthrow of the orange twerp, but he insisted on going. It was supposed to be Vance doing the keynote speech. Show me. I think this is one reason why Hegseth's fell so flat. Crime of passion was supposed to be a slaughter, not of the military leaders, but of... I think this is why Hegseth fell so flat, was because it was supposed to be Vance doing the keynote speech. You want that one, run away. And you want that one, dismemberment. Trapped. They were trapped, landfill, assassination, secret. But you had the intuition there. I think the orange twerp thought, so they're trapped and had to toss out. Now, I'm not saying this was an actual assassination. It feels like a takedown of Trump. And it was a secret, but he had an intuition that this is what was coming. And that's why he went. So there was an inside secret plan. I'm going to say to take down the orange twerp. But it got dismembered. It got pulled apart at the seams. Is that right? Lies, hidden lies, and obstacles. Legal proceedings and then a clean-up is going to occur. So the mountains, but then legal proceedings and a clean-up. Ah, boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, yeah, I think Vance was supposed to be the keynote speaker. I was been feeling that for a while, but he had, yes, he is still breathing, by the way. He's just having a lovely big sleep. But the orange twerp had an instinct that something was coming down, and that's why he insisted he be the one to give the speech. Feels very thwarted. Okay, just going to grab the Smith-Waite Tarot deck. Let's have a look. I was going to do a deep dive on Miller, but I might not do that today. I mean, if anyone's behind the scenes, it's Miller and Holman are the two major players here. But here's the Chariot card. Some sort of agreement, and then the Chariot card. Okay, are those behind the scenes, because the orange twerp insisted on going to Quantico, the insanity secrets being revealed and the military moving in. Again, same cards, different deck. With Plan A being foiled, because I really feel this was Vance to This was intended to be Vance gauging the loyalty of the military to, and perhaps even an overthrow. Are they going to move on to Plan B? I know I'm right down the rabbit hole. What did Phil A. Mignon, our lovely bush poet, he says he's got a PhD, post-hole digging. I'd have to agree with that. Okay. Had their back up against the wall and had to give the gift. Again, different deck, same cards. And then we've got this one again. And then we've got out in the cold, looking at Plan B. So I really feel like that there was supposed to be this removal, but somebody who has the snake cunning, a rat cunning like a snake, his intuition put him in this position of saying, well, I'm going to be there. And they had no choice. So they're now looking at Plan B to put him out in the cold. Plan B, another option in regards to the Emperor. Same cards again. Different deck. So yes, I do feel that the not one big happy family, the hidden agenda of the big happy family. So moving on to Plan, I'm just going to leave it like that. Yep, I'm going to leave it like that. The cards were then the High Priestess and the Three of Wands, which is about the plan coming, the ship coming in. Yeah, I do think, I honestly feel that Quantico was put off course. Let me put it that way. Put off course because the Orange Twerp insisted on being there. He was not supposed to be there. It was supposed to take a completely different path. And now it's on to Plan B. Okay, catch you shortly.